And news outside Africa, there have been clashes between Russian and U.S. envoys at the UN Security Council after the U.S. called a meeting to discuss Moscow's troop buildup on its borders with Ukraine. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield said the mobilization was the biggest Europe had seen in decades. Her Russian counterpart accused the U.S. of fomenting hysteria and unacceptable interference in Russia's affairs. The U.S. and UK have promised further sanctions if Russia invades Ukraine.
We were talking about America being destroyed in World War III, all right?
Yeah.
We're trying to tell you that the war is Muslim and Christian, East versus West, all right? That's all BS. That's all. What it is that both sides are ran by the same people, all right? The so-called white men, the elites. Who mainly runs it is the Most High, all right? The one you call God of the Bible. He's the one orchestrating the wars. And he's gonna put the spirit on all these nations. They end up shooting all their nuclear missiles, all nuclear capable countries, nations, and fire their nuclear missiles here on America. And America is well deserved. Because you know what they're doing out there in Europe and all these other countries? They're showing you what happened with Freddie Gray, what happened with Eric Garner, so on and so forth. What kind of human rights violations America is doing, has done, and continues to do
Polls clearly show that Europeans have turned against America in increasing numbers. You can blame Iraq or George Bush, but it's also true that Europeans have been fed a steady diet of media distortions about America for years. And if you repeat a distortion long enough, it can become reality. If you got your news about the United States only from the European media, chances are good you wouldn't like the United States either. There are a lot of reasons for the anti-American coverage in the media here, but you can start with the journalists themselves. They're mostly liberal and on a mission. America gets a journalistic thumping just about every day in Europe. It's a one-way media war that our government has shown little or no interest in fighting seriously, even though it has severely damaged America's image and influence. A British novelist spoke for many when she wrote that my anti-Americanism has become almost uncontrollable. It rises in my throat like acid reflux. Critics of Europe's media say one of the biggest bashers of America is the British Broadcasting Corporation. Outgoing Prime Minister Tony Blair has said openly that the BBC is full of hatred for America. A former BBC journalist says that this drawing hung in the BBC newsroom.
Stephen Green, bis vor kurzem US-Soldat im Irak.
This documentary on the German TV program Panorama, suggesting that the U.S. military is filled with dangerous criminals, is par for the course in Germany. Perhaps it's not surprising, then, that a majority of Germans now think the U.S. is more dangerous than Iran. Polls also show most British now have a negative view of America. It's gotten so bad that a British conservative group has produced this commercial to remind the world that it really does need America.
Imagine a world without America.
You are watching the news from London. General Secretary Stalin was in France today to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the liberation of Paris by the Red Army. Organized crowds of young people sang the Soviet anthem as troops marched along the Champs-Élysées.
A world without America. A world with more disease, more poverty, more danger.
In Berlin, American Jeffrey Gedman, president of Radio Free Europe, has spent a lot of his time with Germans busting the anti-American stereotypes pushed by the German media.
The intuitive stories are fat children, fast food, death penalty, no culture, Guantanamo. Current topics, Abu Ghraib, Guantanamo. 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 I gave a talk to a group of high school students about 3 months ago. The first question was about Guantanamo. You know what the second question was? Guantanamo. You know what the third and fifth and ninth and 12th question was? Guantanamo. Do you know after an hour I could not get them off Guantanamo? Where do they get that? Is it from the air or the water? Or is it this constant beating of the drum? The Americans are abusing human rights. The Americans don't play by the rules.
Well, I had Germans actually ask me, does everyone carry an M16 around with them in the United States? And they were absolutely serious. And that's when I started to wonder, what's going on here? Where are they getting these crazy ideas?
Ray Drake, who is both an American and German citizen, became so upset by the lies and distortions about America in the German press that he helped start the website David's Median Critic to fight it.
People in Germany have got ideas about the United States that are totally skewed, totally based on misinformation.
A few years ago, if you went looking for the history of America on the German news magazine Stern's website, you would have seen this quote in German. No nation has ever dominated the globe like the USA, and its people could not care less about the rest of humanity. After Ray Drake posted this on his website, public outrage forced Stern to change it.
It is very difficult to get positive information about the U.S.
German citizen Karen Quad became so upset by anti-Americanism, she too began a website to fight it.
It's difficult to have a conversation without having the anti-American topics on the table.
The author of Uncouth Nation, Why Europe Dislikes America, says that for the first time, anti-Americanism, which had always existed on the fringes of Europe, has entered the mainstream. University of Michigan professor Andrei Markovits says it's created a market for anti-American news.
I was just at a talk here about my book in Washington where a very eminent journalist of a German newspaper, I don't want to mention the name, basically said that, you know, my guys back at my headquarters are just really want bad stuff. I mean, that's what, you know, really, you know, sells.
Anti-Americanism in France is neither new nor very surprising. Although new President Nicolas Sarkozy, who says he actually likes America, is a notable exception, according to pro-American journalist Michel Gerfinkel.
Yes, the entire government and media structure of France take it for granted that essentially the enemy of France and the enemy of the world is American imperialism.
The U.S. helped liberate Europe, spent great sums of money to defend it during the Cold War, and defends it today. So why the hatred? Markovits says it's about more than Iraq or Bush.
Not so much what America does, but what America is. There is a real disdain for what America and Americans are rather than what they do. To the anti-American European, America is this fleeting, superficial, commercial glitter.
Meanwhile, the British media has announced it wants to bring its brand of news to America in a bigger way. Tomorrow, a British group warns that the BBC comes to America as a Trojan horse, and how in the European media the deep religious faith of Americans is a sure sign that they're stupid.
Plus, there are drone strikes killing people, as well as going around starting all these wars around the world, forcing people to starve to death. Because you want to talk about love, man. You want to talk about love? Take your ass down to Syria and try to give those people love. They need it right now. Then people in Syria, there's people in Afghanistan, go to the Hindu Kush, go give them some love. Go stand in front of an unmanned aerial drone, a UAV, go stand in front of it, try to throw love at it, man, see what happens.
So-called white man's full of shit, man. When you first came over here, you played like you came up on that same tip. Oh, you guys need some love? You guys want a hug? Then what you do to the Native Americans, you stab them in their back, man.
All right? No, I'm not going to show you anymore. All right? If I speak on that particular subject, I'll show you the poster. All right?
Fair enough.
Okay? Go ahead. Yeah, well, it is fair enough. Unlike you so-called white people. Because you so-called white people have never been fair. Name me one time that you ever been fair to the so-called black man.
I'm standing
never.
Here, I'm standing
never.
here, I'm talking to you guys about your stuff.
Excuse me?
I'm standing here, I'm talking to you guys about your stuff.
Oh, and that's fair? And that's fair? But are you agreeing with it? Are you agreeing?
To the millions of people who walk by you and give you evil looks, and I'm here actually
I don't give a damn whether you stop. I don't give a damn whether you walk down the street. I don't give a damn what you do.
So why are you out here then?
We're out here to wake up our people. We're not out here to wake you up. All right? We're out here to wake up Israelites. These so-called black people. We're out here to wake them up to the fact that they're the devil.
Is he waking you up?
Well, if they stick around and they open up their mind, they'll see the truth, all right? If they choose not to wake up to the truth, then that's on them. Waking up Israelites, all right? And waking up you so-called white people to the fact that you're going down in the thermonuclear war. See, they think it's a joke. You think it's a joke. But you know what? You can think it's a joke, all right? But No, you're not helping me out. All you're doing is deceiving
Wait, so
people,
the white
right?
man's killing the white man.
Excuse me?
Russians are going to kill us, and then they're going to go into slavery.
Of course, of course.
Why the Russians?
Why the what?
Russians.
Because when you go to the book of, it's in prophecy. If you go to the book of Ezekiel, the 36, 37, they're gonna have a part of that too.
Vladimir Putin has announced Russia will beef up its nuclear arsenal this year.
This year, our nuclear forces will receive more than 40 intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of penetrating all existing missile defences, even the most advanced.
بیانات رئیس جمهور اسلامی ایران جناب آقای احمدی نژاد شعارهای حضورتون تقدیم میکنم خروشان پاسخ بدید. امروز سراسر ایران اسلامی از جنوب تا شمال و از شرق تا غرب یک فریاد است و اون مرگ بر امریکا. نفرت و خشم ملت مسلمان بر امریکا رژیم کفر شیطان، بر امریکا رژیم کفر شیطان.